Hi everyone, Tracy from Temperance Tarot. I have noticed that there are a lot of really cool hashtags going around YouTube right now, and unfortunately I don't have time to do all the ones that are going around, but I saw one from Lisa at Mindful Tarot the other day and it just fascinated me and absolutely struck a chord with me that some of the other ones haven't. It's the hashtag follow your suit. She says, which suit of the minor arcana is central in your life right now? Energizing, stalking, challenging, inspiring you, etc. Choose 3 decks and a card or 2 from each deck to help explain and explore the role of this suit in your life. And the only thing, I'm going to of course break the rules because I always do, but I wouldn't say that this suit is central in my life right now. This suit has been central in my life all the time, ever since I was probably in my 20s and I didn't even really realize it. And it's the suit of Pentacles, or coins. I like coins. Pentacles to me have a slightly witchy, Wiccan sort of vibe or implication to them, and coins are coins, and I like that because I'm not particularly Wiccan or witchy. So I like coins. But it just all of a sudden hit me that when I was in my mid-20s or so, I had a 5 of Pentacles moment. Now, this is the 5 of Gardens, or 5 of Pentacles in this tarot. I can't begin to pronounce that name, Jeopardy. I will not say that my 5 of Coins moment was that bleak, but it felt that bleak at the time. And I think the bad thing about it is that it impacted my mind that way. It didn't have to be a 5 of Pentacles or a 5 of Coins moment that was that desperate, but I think my mind kind of turned it into a situation that felt that desperate, and has sort of shaped the way I have lived my life ever since. And the importance of having a stable, steady job with a steady paycheck, which allows for less risk when it comes to my career and how I make a living. Because of that 5 of Pentacles situation, where for over a year I didn't really have a job, and it made me very much afraid of not having a job. So I take jobs that, and I'm not saying I love my job now, I really do. I've come a long way since then, and I do really enjoy my job, but a lot of my self-worth and a lot of how I approach life all has to do with my job, and that all hinges on that moment in my mid-20s when I had nothing. I had no job. I had some hope, but I didn't really have a job, and the economy was not as good then, and I had graduated with a degree in history, but decided I didn't want to be a teacher, and was kind of floundering at the same time. And so my job and having a steady paycheck became very important to me. There are a couple other representations of this card that I wanted to show. This is you can see the gold. That's a pretty traditional 5 of Pentacles from the Tower of Prague. And what's interesting is, you're outside of church. In the 5 of Pentacles, there are almost always 2 people. Like, here's the 5 of Pentacles from the Ellis deck. There are almost always 2 people, but I didn't feel that way. I felt very much like I was dealing with this on my own. In fact, I was not. There were lots of people helping me, but it felt very solitary. So because of that, what my life has become a lot of the time is the 8 of Coins, or the 8 of Pentacles, where I'm constantly trying to work harder and do better and learn more, so that that threat, that possibility of having a job taken out from under me isn't there, so that I am valuable enough to where if something happens, maybe I'll be one of the ones that they keep, and I'm not one of the ones who loses their job. And to be perfectly honest, when I lost the job when I was in my 20s, it wasn't due to downsizing. I got fired. Really, really. It really scarred me. I love this particular Eight of Pentacles from the Ellis deck, because the 8 Pentacles are across the bridge, and you can see that the worker, where is he? He's right here. He's kind of tiny and hard to see. But the worker, he's got almost all the bridge done. So he's reached a level of mastery. And I think that's kind of where I am right now. I'm an 8 of Pentacles. I have reached a level of mastery to where that 5 of Pentacles fear is actually, after all these years, starting to recede some. This is the 8 of Pentacles from Tarot of Prague. But my ultimate goal is the 10 of Pentacles, not the 9. The 9, she's by herself. The 10 of Pentacles is having the stability and the wealth and the family, and that's my ultimate Pentacles goal. It's funny, I'm a fire sign, I'm a Sagittarius, but I'm very much, Pentacles to me is a suit of the mundane, the everyday, things that you have to go through on a daily basis to continue your existence. Whereas the other suits, you know, Swords is all about the intellect and what you're thinking, and Wands is about creativity and energy, and Water is all about emotion. And so I live very much in the Pentacles world, in the world of the mundane and the practical. And so that, I think that's another reason that I really identify with the suit of Pentacles, because it's the practical. You know, it's the weird, how you're going to put food on the table and how you're going to pay the rent type of suit, in my mind, more than some of the other suits are that deal with sort of loftier things that, in my attempt at spirituality, I haven't quite maybe wrapped my head around how they apply to me as much as I would like at this point. So that's my little ramble. It's a very short ramble too, because I don't ramble much, about the suit of Pentacles and how I identify with the suit of Pentacles. I hope one day to move out of that sort of everyday, mundane sort of Pentacles mindset and move on to another mindset. But at the same time, I'm really not worried about it. If I am what I am, and if I've learned one thing from all of the spiritual advice I've gotten from YouTube and the community out there at large, it's that I have permission to be just who I am, and I don't have to try to be anybody else or live up to their ideals of what is spiritually right or wrong or whatever. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but if I'm a practical person, I'm a practical person, and there is nothing wrong with that. Makes tarot reading a little harder, because that's one of the reasons I picked up the cards to begin with, is because I felt I was just so grounded and down to earth and mundane, and I wanted to experience more. And I thought, well, maybe these cards with these pictures on them will help me with that intuition and that spirituality. So anyway, that's enough of a ramble from me. If you do this tag, I would love to see your response. I'll put a link to Lisa's video in the description bar below. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.